Is blogging still worth it in 2020 and beyond? And can you make significant money still doing it? Hi, this is Michael from Viral Home Based Pursuit. And in this video, I'll be going over whether or not blogging is worth your time, your energy, and everything you could put into it to create yourself the side hustle. Maybe it's just a hobby, a part-time, or a full-time career that you want to get into. Okay, I'm going to cut right to it and tell you the truth. And it is a yes. Blogging is still worth it today and moving forward, just as it was the day before and even years before today. But before I move forward, if this is the first time you're watching me, I do come out with videos like this on how to start a blog, how could you become profitable with a blog. Specifically, I do it through a business model called affiliate marketing, which is simply promoting other people's products and services for a commission, right? You don't ever have to even own your own product. You don't have to be techie at it, learn how to do coding. You can be a straight beginner and get started very easily. So if you want to know more about that, I'll leave more of it in the description. Just don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you can, so we can help out as many people as possible. Now, I'll be getting into the share screen here in a bit and showing you how to become profitable with a blog specifically. But I want to get into the reasons why it is still worth it. And many people have these misconceptions, these incorrect ideas about it, that it had worked in the past, but with so much changing, are you able to still get the amount of people, right? These people are the traffic, the visitors that come to your blog post to read. And can you convert those into, let's say, leads, people you can connect with in the future, so that way then you can push them over to a product or service so that they can eventually buy from you, convert into a sale right then and there. There are so many of these false beliefs, and you might be thinking that as well. I might not be the only video you've watched, or you might go watch another one. But let me just clear it up for you right now and say this, that a lot of people who may be saying that it isn't worth it are usually the ones who have likely tried it, they've failed themselves, or people who are just hearing things and passing that information on over to you. So you have to be very careful about what you put through here, and know that don't keep it all in there. Let one thing go through one ear and out the other, right? And so blogging definitely is still worth it. It's worth your time. It's just a question of, is it the right strategy for you? And mainly I help in coaching and consulting with people in affiliates marketing. Again, that's promoting other people's products and services without ever having to own your own. You can eventually work your way to having your own product. But if you wanted to know more about that, I have a guide on how to make $1,000 plus per month and other resources you can get your hands on for free. But in the description, but it's something that over time, it's like, if you're trying to please the Google algorithm, right? That should be your main goal, is unless you're like trying to just blog for free and I'm not going to go down that route too much, but there are many platforms you can go ahead and do that on. Tumblr, there's so many of them that I won't even get into, but really what you want to do is please the Google algorithms, because that's been changing over time, right? I'm always staying up to date as an SEO, which is search engine optimization, being able to correctly structure a blog post so that I can rank on the first page of Google, so you can get that top spot or just within the first page. And why do you want that? Because you're going to get the most amount of people, this traffic that these people are searching for on a search engine like Google, for example, and they have a problem, and you have that specific answer for them, so they can click on your post and go read as opposed to your competitors. And so a lot of it is just being able to please what Google is already looking for. And over the time, it's changed, where before you could just create any kind of content and it would just be on the search engine. And the person behind the screen here typing in, if they had, for example, if they had a problem on back pain, which, by the way, that's my first blog that I started. I started in the health and wellness with a lower back pain site that's been making me thousands of dollars through different networks, right? I partner up with these affiliates programs, like Amazon being one, That Merchant. There's another one called like ShareSell, Impact, radius. There's so many of them out there. I'll leave a full list guide down below of like things like 60 plus list of affiliate programs. That way you can earn commissions from these places, right? Like when Amazon has an affiliate network you can partner with, and that you can earn affiliate commissions. And in this video, I don't want to go too far into should you stick to them, because they've cut their commission rate, and I have an article for that down below. But there are other ones. That's why I have my list. And you can create a highly profitable blog around it, and put all these little affiliate links that they give you, like an Amazon, for example, would give you. You can place in your content for a review type post, and when somebody comes and reads it, they have their problems answered, and you've helped them, right? You want to really get into the 4 details, which is like just being informational, educational, helpful, entertaining, and giving somebody a call to action button, really just 5 plus. But you want to be able to have that in your content, and that's what is going to make blogging really still worth it, right? If you can please the Google algorithm to what its intent is. So if somebody was searching for a keyword, somebody was like the best laptops under $100, you can go on Google and figure out, okay, what are the search results when I type that in? And that's what's going to give you an idea of how you should format and structure your post, right? You should have a similar way that's being constructed. So blogging is still worth it if you follow the principles, if you follow the right frameworks, the strategies and tactics to it, to understanding how to do it. And I have a document I'll link to down below. I think you can grab it for free, which shows you the old way versus the new way. And I want to get into this share screen here just to kind of show you a couple things. But yeah, blogging is still worth it in 2020 and beyond. And I think I made a video of that comparing 2 different documents that I'll leave down below, where I say, okay, before it's like you would get into it and you would be like, well, I'm not seeing the results, and you'd want to quit sooner. Well, a lot of it has to do with your mindset, and you got to give it time and patience. That's why I created what is called the 1 blog post away challenge. It says free for now, but that will likely change. But it's me walking you through and launching your first or next blog, and it's a highly profitable one. And here is all the information you need to know from me, and like the bonuses that you will get. So I'd highly recommend you check this one out. I created it. It's a 30-day challenge you go through, where you're going to understand how to build a highly profitable blog today and moving forward, with the key elements in it. And I'll have a video for you to check out, and I even have a blog post for it too. But it shows you the new ways of blogging versus what is the old way. The old way is usually like go start a domain, go start a hosting platform, and then put your site this way. But nobody ever tells you that you should first focus on what the mindset of the approach is. What is it that you should be developing within yourself internally, not always externally? So that's what will help you with the 1 blog post away challenge. Quite in fact, I don't even tell you to start your blog until like the 2nd to 3rd week or so, which is a huge benefit, and it's going to become a huge payoff for you in the long run. You got to look at this as the long run. So that's another thing I want to write down here. It's just long run. Okay. Is it still worth it? Of course, but are you looking at it from a long run perspective? Or are you looking at it from a short run perspective, right? Do you want to make it work for you today, and you will not wait until months down the road? Or do you want to build it over the long term, continue to produce value to your marketplace by adding content to your website, and it works for you 6 months, not even 6, a year, and more moving down the road, where you're now getting all this traffic, all these people coming to your posts, so you can get people to read and then appreciate you even more, which then means that can turn into a sale, and you start now making a lot of sales every single day, where now you have all this free time you can give to yourself and to others that you could attend to, and you could do things like that, right? That's what I've been able to do, and that's how I started with my health site, and then I've later expanded. So I talk about that too in the One Blog Post Away Challenge, because it's one of the hardest niches, and I reveal what I do and the strategies, and that way you can apply it to anything else as well. Not only that, but long run versus short-term gains. You got to look at this as the long run. Okay, it's still worth it if you are looking at it from a right mental perspective. You cannot look at this from, I need a short-term gain. That's how so many people fail. And if you can become somebody who does the long run game, then you're going to beat your competition no matter what. Okay, it's just going to happen over time, because they won't be the ones like doing all the split testing on your site, your content. Does it work this way? Does it work that way? And when you figure out the formula and you figure out what is working, you just keep repeating that, right? It's like the 80-20 principle. You keep doing the things that produce you the income generating activities. So long run versus short term. And that's why people fail, because they look at this right here. And you don't want to make that mistake, because if you do, then you're going to likely be that person who says, well, this doesn't work. It doesn't work for anybody else. How can it ever work for me? This is a scam. I tried it. And I've met so many people who they just didn't give it enough time. When I always ask why it didn't work for them, it's usually because they, one, didn't give it enough time, and two, they just didn't want to continue doing that. And they likely had found another route to go into. But this will be a huge payoff down the road. So long run. Now, number two, if it's still worth it, yeah, you just have to create, I would like to say, value, right? Value-driven content. And I kind of put the word extraordinary value or content. You could use this, either one of them. What does this mean? This means that you are providing the necessary, spelling was out today. You can provide the necessary value for your marketplace, the audience, right? If you're speaking to somebody, you have to speak to your dream customer. You might be selling one to many people that come to your blog and they buy. That's like one to many. But you have to think about what is that one specific person having problems with, and speak to them directly. Right? You might be speaking to a lot of people, but speak to that one person directly. And that's where a lot of people make the mistake. They always make it about themselves. They don't make it about the person. This is as much as it is copywriting, right? So once you learn the skills of copywriting, which is a great thing to learn, you'll learn, if you don't learn it now, you'll learn it down the road, and you'll learn how to frame your audience and make them more intrigued into what you have to say. So it's about creating as much value and make it an extraordinary experience for them. Extraordinary meaning, again, going back to the information, helpful, educational. Are you being entertaining with them? If you're giving them a call to action based, call to action being like, here, go click here, sign up for my form, or here, click here to go to the next page, click here to go to the sales page of that merchant, wherever you're taking them to. But giving them that amount of value that they were asking for, that they were searching through Google, right? Because Google's looking to match the best blog posts with that, as well as other ones like Bing and Yahoo. So you got to give them the right experience, all right? So that's what makes blogging even more worth it in 2020 and moving forward. So it just doesn't just relate to now. This will relate to later on if you're watching it by that time, okay? So don't just think this is just 2020. There are some strategies and tactics that do change, but the principles are always the same. Long run, add value, create extraordinary content that's not already out there. And you just kind of have to go that extra mile and go above and beyond, right? You just have to want to do that. You know, what differentiates you from the other people doing the same thing? You know, when I got first started, I was seeing all these other health and back pain blogs, and I thought, what would I be able to do to differentiate myself, to position myself in the marketplace where, yeah, I'm feeding off of all these people who I'm going to go collect all these people. It's called the red ocean, where they're all feeding in infested dark red waters where there's so much competition, but they're not getting their needs met. And I'm fishing in there, right? I'm throwing the bait. I have my fishing pole, but my bait is more important, right? My fishing pole might be the weaker one, but it might be struggling. But the bait that you have on it, it's what's going to attract that type of fish. So that person that might, be coming in, it's like sees the worm or whatever bait that is that you're attracting them with, and brings them to you, which is your blue ocean. Your blue ocean strategy is basically like, how do I differentiate myself? How do I bring people in from the red ocean into my own blue ocean? So that way I can give them what they need that they weren't finding, that they weren't getting any help with over here. So you have to go and understand those things And if you want to understand more about that, I highly recommend you check out my #1 recommended book on it. It's called like Blue Ocean Strategy. But the other one that I would get into for marketing purposes, it's uh, Expert Secrets, and I have a review for that. You can get it free. It's just a free plus shipping. It's going to be a huge payoff down the road, but that's one to get. Blogging is still worth it if you're doing this right here, marketing, and this is #1. This is the reason uh, why so many people have a misconception who may have already tried it and they've failed. It's because they don't market. And how are you going to just rely on, let's say you're doing keywords, right? Keyword research, which was something that I could have put right here. Keyword research, basically, let me go back to that. It's finding things that people are searching for on Google or any other search engines, and you're matching your query, hence your blog post, with what they want. So if they were searching for something like how to reduce back pain overnight, okay, and you had this keyword research tool, you could search that same phrase and it gives you how many monthly visitors are going to blog posts, to what, how many people are searching for that every month, the amount of traffic your blog post could get, the amount of competing websites. You can know that and you can write a blog post around that. So it's not just about throwing anything on the whiteboard and seeing if it will stick. Sometimes that will work, but it's more better, let's say, that you can go ahead and search for keywords and know what your market is doing. But that's for another time in another video. I have way other stuff on that. I'll leave down below in the description for keyword researching. Before marketing, this is like one of the biggest ones. And people sidetrack. I don't know why, it's just like they think about blogging and they go, oh, all I got to do is write blog posts and it may rank on Google or it's just for fun. And people will start coming to me, and it can happen and it'll happen over time. But something in the beginning that you should be doing is already using your marketing tactics. And that's stuff like on social media. You can even do things with YouTube from the start, right? I want you to focus on one platform, like with blogging, to get good at it, to build those skills up. But then over time, you can start incorporating video strategies and marketing it through those channels. But using social media like Facebook and Instagram is a great place to begin. Twitter is where I started. And then I later expanded into things like Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram, stuff like that. So I started experimenting a lot with these. And your experimentation, it's a science. That's what I love about running a blog. But not only that, but the marketing and sales aspect. Marketing so much more, because I grew up with the likes of doing science, right? I was in math class. I was good academically, played Division I soccer, but I was the one who liked to understand the principles of science, hypotheses, and understanding chemistry, physics, and all these other ways, how to come into a conclusion, how to make an observational notice, and how to make an observational changes and stuff like that. So it's so much of a science as it is an art. So you want to have to get into that. And again, I recommend you get Expert Secrets. It's a book made by Russell Brunson. I'll leave down below in the description so you can check it out and get my bonuses for that. But marketing is just basically you breaking down other people's false beliefs about a subject and recreating a new one, because so many people have these false beliefs that are more predicated on opinions rather than they are facts. And there's an experience that that person has had and they keep telling themselves that has, you know, them blocked to believe anything else. And you're the person with your content who's going to be breaking that up, using social media for those purposes. And do not delay this right here, okay? Do not delay the marketing aspect. So that's stuff you'll learn with me in time as well. And I show it in the One Blog Post Away Challenge, how to market your blog, and I have other material on this. But how to use Facebook pages and your news feed, groups, personal profile, Instagram, how to use it correctly, Pinterest, and all these other ways. But the marketing, it's you getting your voice out there, okay? Another one I want to get into, is it still worth it? Of course it's worth it. You just have to know the research, right? And this could have come before, but you just have to know who are your competitors. Is there enough traffic that I can get from these kind of niche websites, right? If you're doing a niche website, like I said, I was doing with back pain, Amazon, and different partners, is it still worth it? Understand what you're getting yourself into. Is there enough traffic that I can, you know, grab from? In that you can use keyword research tools, the Google auto suggest, Uber suggest from Neil Patel, a whole bunch of other ways to figure that out that you'll do in time. But just researching and understanding that, because a lot of the things that people fail to do, and they always question it, I can't do blogging. Well, it's because they didn't do the proper research ahead of time to understand what type of products, the type of people they were going after with those products, type of problems in the marketplace. Is there enough search volume, search intent? Are these people going to actually buy from me? So you have to know those things, and it'll be a huge payoff. So those are just the 5. I know there are more that are going to help you understand if blogging is still worth it. And, just to kind of show you one account here, I'm not going to go too much into it, but, I'm earning from a certain program here, 120, 50, 54, 90, 74 plus. And that is just from one affiliate network that I use for my backlink site. And then I have other sites now that I've expanded into, but focus on one at a time, right? For the long run. Don't do it for the short term, or else it will not be worth it, period. Okay? Add value. That's extraordinary, right? The way it's structured, it's better than your competition. You meet their needs, so that they can eventually take the next steps with you, which is like going into an email form, so that way you can email market to them, right? And then you can also be able to transition them into a sale right away there, or after, when you have them in your email and so forth. But you still should be collecting email address, which is very important. That's for another time. But go above and beyond. See what your competition is doing, and that goes hand in hand with the research. But don't just copy, right? That's what a lot of people do nowadays, is just copy. You have to go and don't just regurgitate what's there. Make it personal, right? And make it as helpful if you can. And above and beyond, meaning if you have an image that's stock photo, people will see through that. So take a picture of, if you're doing something for like a pet niche, right? You might have your own dog that you take a picture of and you put it on there with like a CBD or something. That's an example. But go above and beyond from what everybody else is doing. Number 4, the marketing. It's just I can't stress this out enough. Is blogging still worth it with marketing? Yes. And you just have to know that even if it's getting more competitive and Google's looking for, they're changing algorithms here and there, it is completely worth it. You have all these different channels like Quora, where you can go and help people and link people back to your content. Pinterest, link back to your content. Email marketing, social media, but it's just got to be in a strategic manner. 5, research. Could have been the first one, but just understand that and what it can do for you, okay? So that's everything in this video. If you want to get into the one blog post away challenge, like I've shown you here, for this limited time, it might just be left for free. By the time you're watching this, it might not even be anymore. I have changed it to back and forth, just to help some people out, but it's not something that will always be that way. So I would get in there if it's still for free. Even if it's not for free, it's still worth getting into. I've seen a lot of people get success from this, and keep in mind that this is a challenge. It's not made like some people in the beginning were like, well, I thought this was going to be for a beginner, and it is for a beginner. It is for beginners to intermediates and experts, people who have gone through it, or maybe people who haven't. You don't have to be techie, you don't have to understand any of that, but it is a challenge because it's going to push you outside of your comfort zone. That's what I want you to get at. It's not about being in your comfort zone. It's about getting into a challenge and getting out of that. And this is what it's going to do for you. It's going to have everything you need to know about it. And it'll really help you out. Okay. So that's everything from me. And if you already don't want to go through this part and you want to go through and see one of my #1 recommended platforms on where to get started blogging, I'll leave that down below. And I kind of show some other people's sites, how they're doing. I didn't want to go too far, and I didn't want to really go into that in this video, but it's still worth it. Just very quickly, if you do a Google search on, blogging, or let's say something like CBD dog treats, you'll get a lot of results, and this is something you can find here that niche sites are making. SCBDOs.org, and here's this. People are linking to places where they can go and buy but they're showing you like if this is possible, then it can be possible for you. You just have to go out there and create better content, understand the ways that people would be converting. Um, but yeah, when you get into that, do some like reviews, and then when you do reviews, different ones will come up, and you just kind of go through them and understand the content that they're creating. And then you can go not copy, but be similar in a way, but more unique to you, and then that way you can grow over time and surpass them. Okay, so that's everything from me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do leave me one down below. Let me know if you have tried and failed. What are you thinking about doing now? Where are you in your journey per se? I mean, I know this is like, if it's still worth it, it kind of sounds like you haven't started one, but let me know if you need any help too. All right, thanks.